All right, we currently live here today, my people, because I'm blocked on all my other platforms. But we are currently live here today, right, to talk about the destruction that has come upon the land. All right, I know some of y'all follow me on the other platforms, some of y'all don't. But here's the thing: destruction has come upon the land. All right, and we go pull this out, this information. Now you might have noticed the flash floods, right? Now y'all see what happened in Vegas, right? Let these people keep telling y'all that this shit is normal, okay? But you gonna see the increase in the weather patterns. You will see this. We all will see it. Currently, the earth is going through chaos, my people. Yes, the birth pains. That's what they call them. So, the average magnitude earthquakes will continue to increase. We are watching that. But here's the part where I want to talk about. You see these flash floods, right? You see what happened in Vegas, right? Right? Okay? You see what happened in Pennsylvania. You see what happened in New York. You see what happened in Vermont, right? Right? We all seeing these flash floods, right? You see what happened in Korea over there? Flash flood killed 40 people, unalive 40 people. You see the little kid and the man missing over here in America from the flash floods in Vermont? Y'all see that shit? 200 people killed in India, right? Check it out. The more prolonged drought and periods of severe rainfall will no longer be the exception. They will be the rule. This is what we are watching because the weather patterns, right? The flash floods will start and they will not stop. So this is what we are watching. We are watching the flash floods take place right along with the merge of the weather, right? Summer and winter merge into a single season, right? That's what we watching. Now pay attention to this winter, right? You're gonna have some states not even experiencing no type of winter. And then you're gonna have states experiencing, like I said, this remember this, because I said this once and I'm gonna say it again. Wherever it's cold at, it's gonna be colder than usual. Wherever it's hot, it's gonna be hotter than usual. Okay? And this is because of the summer and winter merging into a single season. That's what we are seeing. Okay? So to all of you people that is watching the meteors and shit fly through the sky, right? Y'all been seeing this shit? Guess what? The meteors are coming in because we're headed into the belt of this thing, right? So they just came out of nowhere with a meteor talking about it's coming September 23rd. Did you hear about that? Or was that October 20th? It's September 23rd, I believe, 2023. Just came out of nowhere. Big green meteor, big as fuck, right? And it's coming in. It's coming in as we speak. Now, my friends, where you see the flooding, right? We talk about the flooding. We talk about the flooding, right? We gonna get into that. But where in the fuck are all these meteors coming from? Where are they coming from? Right? Well, there's this. Hold on. Let me go get the other phone because I need you guys to understand and know what I'm talking about. So hold on 1 second. We're gonna go get this other phone. Right then. Where is the charger? Fuck. All right. Be ready. Be ready. Shit. Let my motherfucking blunt go out. Right? Don't want to let the blunt go. All right. Now let me show you guys. Now this is the meteor, right? Or asteroid, or whatever the fuck they want to call it. I don't know if YouTube blocked me for showing this. Hopefully not. Give me no strike and no shit. But I'm gonna show you guys. I'm gonna go to it, right? Who else out here talking about this shit? All right. So let me go to Paul, right? Paul Bagley, I think that's Paul, right? So we can see these fucking meteors. So these meteors, right? Gotta go to the history, all this shit today. My bad. Let's see. Paul. Now watch this. These are meteors, right? Right here. So this is one, right? Let me get to dude page real quick. I had to turn him down because I ain't trying to get no strike. I don't be on YouTube, so I don't know how this shit work. But okay, here is he talking about. Let's see, this one right here, right? So he's talking about this meteor, right? He gonna even show a picture of it. Now, no, this is another picture. This some other shit that just happened in Florida. I want y'all to see this too, right? Florida. I think that was. Watch this. Now, this was just recently. I want y'all to see this too, right? This happened yesterday or last night or some shit. So I got Paul on standby. We gonna show Paul too. And that might only be on TikTok. Sad. Might have to go on TikTok for that one. But it's a green comet hit meteor, whatever the fuck, asteroid, whatever y'all want to call it. Okay, it's y'all can go do this research, man. It's headed towards the Earth, right? I ain't saying it's gonna hit the Earth or no shit like that, but I'm trying to let y'all know where these things is coming from. Okay, the reason that we are seeing the uptick in the meteors, I mean, it's all together. Like I try to explain to y'all, the reason that we see this uptick in these meteors, right? And the volcanoes awakening, the earthquakes and shit increasing. The reason that we see all of these things together is because there's a force that has come upon the whole world, not just this country, but this force has its hand on the whole world. And when I say its hand, I mean it like its spiritual hand, because the Most High is dealing with the nations as we speak. Okay. Now, a lot of these people don't like to get into this, but what we are seeing taking place on the earth is biblical. Biblical. And why would I say that? You may ask yourself, why would you say that this is a biblical thing taking place on the earth? Well, if you pay attention, right? Let me take you back, way back. Now, if you can remember, now I'm sitting down here with all the information now, so we don't need to argue because I have facts here, okay? And I'm going to show you. Now, if you can remember, the Israelites was in the first slavery, so-called bondage, captivity in Egypt for 430 years. Now, am I wrong or am I right? Then, right, comes the story of who? Right? Abraham and the black Hebrews, right? But in order to understand Abraham and his family, you would have to go back way, 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 way before Abraham to Sumer and Mesopotamia. These peoples were Sumerians. Okay? Now, when they came along, when these people came along, okay, they was given a prophecy. Abraham himself was given a prophecy, right? Because him and Sarah didn't have no kids. But he was promised that they was going to have this kid with descendants from one end of the earth even into the other, right? But they were going to be disobedient and they will go into captivity. This will be their punishment, right? But he told him just because he favored them and he loved them, and they were his firstborn people. Literally, these are the same people in all these different contexts, all these different places. When you go to these different places and you go look at this stuff, I'm telling you, I have all of the information, most of it. And you guys can get this too. This information is out here. Now, when you go to most of this stuff, this is why a lot of shit ain't adding up, because they not telling us the truth. But we know the truth because it's genetically. It's genetically embedded in those. That's why he said, I know those who say they are Jew and are not, and they do lie. And he said, I know the poverty of those of his people, of my people, but thy are rich in blood. You are rich in blood, man. That's why the people you are the number one consumer because you are the jury of the Most High. He said wherever these people will be, blessings will rain down. Literally blessings. If you don't see that you are the children of the Most High, okay, you consume that you have everything that these people have can sell or anything you have to touch first. The clothes, the cars, all this shit, everything. They all following after you. You are the salvation of the world. And when the so-called Jesus came, this is what he meant. This is why they won't give you all the books together. It's a mystery because you have to go out and look. And that's why he said, seek and you shall find. This is why he said that. Seek and find, right? Now, I'm gonna go to it. Now he said, and among all the multitudes of people, thou hast gotten thee one people. One, just one. O-N-E, one people, right? And among all the multitudes of people, because there are very many tongues. This is where you have to understand what is going on. You have been lied to. Okay? The Bible strictly says precept upon precept, little here and a little there. You have to make these prophecies make sense because all of these different prophecies and people are all different. You have to put that to use and make sense of this. The spirit will come along and the truth will come out. It will come to you. That's why they said, study to show thyself approval. You seek and you shall find. The truth shall set you free. You have to go digging yourself. Can't nobody else lead you to spirituality or lead you to an awakening that you ain't been awoken to yet. Only you can do that. So, sorry about that, getting off a subject. But anyway, I'm just saying, because our people is lost to what is going on right now and what is taking place on the surface of the land. All right? Now, they said, he told Abraham, right here, that's why I got all the books open. He told Abraham that when the sun was going down, a deep sleep fell upon Abraham, right? Let me watch the camera off real quick. Because I need you guys to understand what is going on. It's not what you think, okay? The whole world, how salvation lies in this one people. This one people. See how he said, and among all the multitudes of people, thy has gotten thee one people. And unto this people who thou lovest, thou hast gave the law that is approved of all. Now, are you guys understanding? Now, when Jesus, remember when the lady was eating at the table, right? Remember this? Thou hast not come but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. For the salvation is of the Jews. Now, what's salvation? What's salvation, people? Whose salvation? Because people think that their salvation lies in Jesus, but Jesus is sitting here telling you that he was not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel, which is these one people. He said, for the salvation is of the Jews. And if you think I'm lying, precept upon precept, a little here and a little there. Now watch this. These people are the world's, the whole world's salvation. These people. This is why Jesus called himself. Some of that New Testament been fucked with too. A lot of these books been fucked with, but if you have the so-called spirit, or if it's on you, you're gonna be able to deliver, man. You're gonna be able to deliver because it's precept upon precept, little here and a little there. The information is there. It's in you. It's embedded in you. It's genetically. Now, they literally told us, right? They said, but we, thy people, who thou hast called thy firstborn and thy only begotten. Okay? So, when Jesus comes speaking, and he's calling himself God's son, and listen, he's speaking in nation terms. That's why he said he's come for his people. He has come for his people to deliver the message to his people. He has to turn his people back, for the salvation is of his people, for the salvation of the world. The salvation of the world is of this who? This one people. And see, now what is taking place, remember this? This is what is taking place right here. See, it's so much you can't put it all together because it's centuries and centuries worth of information. This is what's crazy about the shit. And it's all real. Right? So they want the world to believe that Jesus was so-called God's, the so-called, I'm going to say most high supreme being. They want you guys to believe that he was the so-called supreme being's son. But Jesus was the son, was the bloodline of David, which was the bloodline of Abraham, right? So how did Jesus become the bloodline of these men if Joseph wasn't his father? Because do you not know who Joseph was? Who begot Joseph? Where did Joseph come from? So if Joseph wasn't Jesus' father, how did Jesus become the bloodline of Joseph? It doesn't make fucking sense. Now, for you guys that doesn't know, a virgin in Hebrew is a young woman that's never been married, not slept with, okay, but never been married. So all this information is missing. A lot of information, they go from Jesus being 12, not even to up into the mount of 12, but to him being 12, to disappearing to appearing at 32. Do you not know where this man was all at? They was all up in Egypt, all through. Man, listen, these folks was literally black unto the ground. They was all through Africa, all through, man, these people was everywhere, man. They was traveling, they was everywhere. Dude was everywhere living. He was doing all type of shit, practicing all type of things, man. This information is out here. Okay, so now what is taking place? Let's get back to what is taking place. Sorry about that. But there was a prophecy, right? Given to Abraham, because they wanted kids. So he told Abraham that they was going to have kids from one end of the earth even into the other. And this is how you know that these prophecies is true. And this is how I'm trying to get into the Planet X shit. But you see all these books I have right here, they all go together. That's why I tell you, it's too much shit to even, it's too much to even put out all at one time. Okay? But I'm going to try my best to squeeze it all in within the amount of like 30 minutes. That's why I keep switching up and shit. But anyway, so he said, and when the sun was going down, a deep sleep fell upon Abraham, and lo, a horror, a great darkness fell upon him. And he said unto Abraham, know that surely that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs. Now, did you hear what I said? Thy seed, right? Thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs. And this is not all due to the Atlantic world. You get what I'm trying to say? I'm tongue twat. I don't even. Whew, Shalak. This is not all due to the Atlantic slave trade, okay? Because these people had been, spread it all throughout from 70 AD and 65 BC. They had been running from slavery. They not telling y'all that this shit been going on for thousands of years, that these people, because they know who these people is. Now, just follow along, and I'm going to show y'all that this is the end of the fucking world as we know it. And they not telling people, but it is. There's no God coming back to crack the sky open. The world would be done away. People, the world, because people is the world. The world will be done away through natural disaster. Simple as that. The sky is going to literally rain fire and brimstone. Meteors and shit. Literally. You're going to see hail, snow, hail, like the size of footballs. Literally. It's already showing signs of this shit through the atmosphere and all this, the intertwines with the seas. We already getting the signs. The streets and shit gonna be cracking up. Volcanoes going off. Crazy shit. Stuff that you ain't, listen, it's coming. It's amongst us right now. It's here. It ain't even coming. It's here. It's amongst us as we speak. Now, he told Abraham, and no, right? And when the sun was going down, a deep sleep fell upon Abraham, and a horror of darkness fell upon him. And he said unto Abraham, know that surely that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs. And they shall serve them, and they shall afflict them for 400 years, right? Remember that 400 years. He said, and also the nation who they serve, right? Remember this, because they want y'all to believe that this is the end of the world, but this is the end of their world, right? Even though a lot of people gonna die from natural disaster, these people multiply. They keep multiplying. That's why that I will never leave nor forsake you. They keep multiplying, okay? They keep coming back, okay? So follow along. Right? Because when you come into existing, you can never be non-existing. You are forever burning sun. The soul, you are connected to the soul, the sun, the S-O-L, you are connected to that. Some people don't come back because they spiritual. They don't have souls. But you are connected to the source. Straight up. You came from this earth, you're going to return to this motherfucker, you'll be back. Just a different bodysuit. That soul is the same soul. It's the same one. They keep coming back here. Ain't no telling how many times you done took this ride. But we are here in a great time. This is one of the greatest times ever. We all picked to be here at this time. Now, he said, for 400 years, these people will be in captivity. Now, see, the Caucasians will come through and try to make that seem like that was the time when the Israelites was in captivity under the Pharaoh in Egypt. But that was 430 years. Now, follow along, right? So how will we know that that time has come, right? Because they want you to only look at Revelations, but I want you to pay attention to something, right? We're going to go to this guy right here. What's his name? His name is Jeremiah. Now pay attention to one of the greatest prophets to ever live. One of the greatest prophets there was. They don't want you to focus on these things, but that's why you got to go looking. Now, who is Jeremiah, right? The word of the Lord, which came to Jeremiah, the prophet, against the Gentiles. Now, who is Jeremiah? We now know that Jeremiah is the prophet against the Gentiles, right? Now, pay attention, because I need you guys to see that this is that very same time that the Most High promised Abraham. Because remember, if we are those people, then Jerusalem will have to be trampled on by the Gentiles right now. Right now, Jerusalem will have to be trampled on by Gentiles. Now, pay attention. Now, he says, Jeremiah, remember, the prophet against the Gentiles. Remember old Jeremiah? Chapter 4, what'd he say? Verse 7, the lion has come up from his thicket, and the destroyer of the Gentiles is on his way. He is gone forth from his place to make thy land. Remember I said natural disaster? To make thy land desolate, and thy cities shall be laid waste without inhabitant. Remember that, all right? Remember these precepts. Remember laid waste. Remember inhabitant. Remember that, okay? So moving on. You heard what he said? He said the destroyer is on his way, y'all, okay? So remember, Jeremiah is the prophet against the Gentiles. Now, Jeremiah said the destroyer was on his way, right? So when would the destroyer be on his way? He said when the time of the Gentiles are fulfilled, right? So when are the times of the Gentiles are fulfilled? I'm telling y'all, this shit is real. Look at this. Look at this. Just look at this, right? I need y'all to look at this. This is real, man. This is it's great, but it's horrifying at the same time what is taking place here on the surface of this land right now. Right now, and don't nobody see it. That's why there's so much corruption in the world. He said it'll be the time like the times of Noah and Lot, and I'd be damned if this same thing, the times of the Gentiles, didn't come around the times of Noah and Lot. Now pay attention. He said, Jerusalem will be trampled on by Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles are fulfilled. Remember that? Remember when he said the lion has come up from his thicket and the destroyer of the Gentiles is on his way? Okay, this is how you read the Bible, y'all. They done fucked this up. Listen, wisdom has been revealed. Listen. So, and excuse my language, but I'm being for real. So he said Jerusalem will be trampled on. That would mean, I'm telling y'all. You see how everybody over here is saying, I'm an Israelite, I'm a black Hebrew, all this and that. This is the Great Awakening. Now, you have never seen such a great awakening in your life. This is literally prophecy happening right in front of your eyes. And most of the people was missing it. Because if the first Atlantic slave ships sailed the seas and landed in the Virginias in 1619, then 2019 will be 400 years. And there's no lie in the Most High. He told Abraham that 400 years his people will go into captivity and they will be afflicted by these people. They wouldn't be, slaves for 400 years, but they will be afflicted by these people, right? Now pay attention. Remember Jeremiah, the prophet against the Gentiles. Don't forget, right? So Jeremiah, remember him? He goes on to say, look what he says. Remember Jeremiah, the prophet against the Gentiles? He said a noise shall come forth. Now how do we know that Jeremiah is talking about in our time? How do we know this? Pay attention. He said a noise shall come even into the ends of the earth, for the Lord has controversy with the nations. Now, why would the Lord be into it with the nations? I thought everybody was God's people. This is what they preach, y'all. This is what they telling us. But as we get closer, we see that the Lord is into it with literally some people here on this earth. Now pay attention. Watch this. Remember when he told Abraham that his people were going to captivity for 400 years? Remember that? Right? And he said, and also that nation who they serve, I will judge. Now we know why the judgment has come upon the land. Now pay attention, because you might think that I'm playing. Now moving back to this, right? Moving back to this. Remember this? Remember this, right? Because they don't want you to know this. They don't want you to know. That's why it's good to study with you got to have more than one book. You cannot study with one book, and I learned that from a great doctor. You hear me? Now, going back. Remember this right here. Remember when he said, and among all the multitudes of peoples, thou hast gotten thee one people. Remember when he said that? And see, he had to make it clear. He wanted this to be so clear that he broke it down. He said, and of all the lands of the whole world, thou hast chosen thee one pit, and of all the flowers thereof one lily, and of all the depths of the sea, thou hast filled thee one river, and of all, he said, and of all the builded cities, thou hast hallowed Sion unto thyself. And of all the fowls of the earth that are created, he said, thou hast named thee one dove. And of all the cattle that are made, thou hast provided thee one sheep. Now you see how he went so deep to break this down? He said, and among all the multitudes of peoples, thou hast gotten thee one people, and unto this people who thou lovest, thou hast gave the law that approve. He said that is approved of all. Now it makes sense what Jesus was saying, because it never made sense, and everybody never wanted to go on the topic. What did that mean when Jesus kept saying, listen, the whole world is fucked. Even us, even some of us, for not knowing what is taking place. They have literally went up against God. They not went up against him, but they have fulfilled everything that he has said. All of the prophecies are fulfilled. Now pay attention. Among all the multitudes of people, thou hast gotten thee one people. And unto this people who thou love, thou hast gave the law that is approved of all. So when he's talking, it only makes sense that it says this. Now look at this. Look at this. The word of the Lord came to Jeremiah. Now don't forget who Jeremiah is, the prophet against the Gentiles. Remember? The word of the Lord came to Jeremiah, right? Saying, thus speaketh the Lord God of Israel. Now this is why he kept saying that, because I never got, why would he keep saying the Lord God of Israel? Because he only has one people. And unto this people who thou lovest, thou hast gave the law. Now this is what's going to fuck y'all up. Look at this. Now, remember when Jesus kept saying, the so-called Jesus, Yahshua, remember when he kept saying, this is what I'm trying to get y'all to understand, people, we have been misled. The Most High is here in spirit to destroy the man, y'all got to know what's happening on the face of this planet. Now, check this out. This is why he said precept upon precept, a little here and a little there. You got to make it make sense, y'all. We got to make it make sense. We're in them times right now. This is it. This is the time right now, man. This shit is crazy. He said, and after these, Adam also, right? And after these, Adam also who thou hast made us, Lord of all thy creatures. Of him come we all, right? Of him come we all. In the people who thou hast chosen. So he's letting you know that he has one people out of all the multitudes of people. That's why he said precept upon precept, little here and a little there. Wisdom has been revealed, y'all. I'm telling y'all, wisdom has been revealed. Now listen, he said, and among all the multitudes of people, thou hast gotten thee one people. Now watch what he say right here. Of Adam come we all, right? In the people who thou hast chosen. So out of all the multitudes of people, he has a chosen people, right? He said, all this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou hast made us the world for our sakes, right? Look at this. I got to take the head off of this. He says, as for these other people, which also come of Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing, but be like, he said, thou hast said that they are nothing, but be like unto spittle, and hast the likeness of abundance of them that have the likeness of the abundance of them unto a drop. Sorry about that, y'all. Let me go over there. Where was I at? I just be trying to say shit because I know this by heart. But I don't want to be saying the wrong thing because I ain't even looking at it. I ain't gonna even lie to y'all. I'm saying this right off the brain. Because I know this by heart, right? But where he say? He said, as for these other people which also come of Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing, but be like unto spittle, and hast the likened of the abundance of them was dropped from a fallen vessel. He said, and now, O Lord, behold, these heathens, which have ever been reputed as nothing, have begun to be lords over us, right? Now, this is a whole prophecy. He said, and to devour us. He said, but we, thy people, who thou hast called thy firstborn and thy only begotten. Now, this is where Jesus come in at. Remember how Jesus kept saying that? Remember? But it didn't make sense to people when the so-called Jesus said, I have come. He said, I have not come but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel, for the salvation is of the Jews. Now remember, it never made sense. Now it makes sense because the salvation is of these one people. The whole world salvation lies in this one people. Now watch this. Watch this. Look at this. He said, the word of the Lord, right? The word that came, my bad. See, I'm still doing this shit. The word that came to Jeremiah from the Lord, saying, thus speaketh the Lord God of Israel. Now remember that first Exodus. Now he's telling his people, because remember he told Abraham that he was going to gather his people back. Remember he told Abraham that shit? Remember he told Abraham that he was going to put them in captivity for 400 years? But after that 400 years, he was going to judge the nations who they served and shit, right? Remember that? All right, now pay attention, because this shit is happening right now as we speak. That's why the sons of Ham has risen up in Gog and Magog. Y'all not paying attention to that, but they going to be destroyed too with war and shit. I'm telling y'all. That's why they have stood up against the oppressor, which is the Gentiles, the other Gentile nations. You know what I'm saying? The white, they all Gentiles, but mostly, you know what I'm saying, the European is the motherfucker that's running the world right now, but their time is up. And this is what he meant. I'm gonna show y'all. Right? He said, the word of the Lord came to Jeremiah, saying, thus speaketh the Lord God of Israel, saying, write these the words that I have spoken unto thee in a book. He said, for lo, the days come, said the Lord, that I will bring again. Remember? Again. This again, because it's coming. It's here now. This is it. He said, I will bring again the captivity of my people, Israel and Judah, said the Lord, and I will cause them to return to the land that I gave their fathers, and they shall possess it. Right? And these are the words that the Lord spake concerning Israel and Judah. Now remember what he said to Abraham, right? This is what he's talking about. Now this is him fulfilling his promise that he gave to Abraham. This is the promise being fulfilled. Remember the promise? Remember what he told Abraham? 400 years, right? So how we know that when them times is it, that he talking about his people. He said, therefore, fear thou not. Fear what? This time that is coming. Precept upon precept. Fear thou not, O servant Jacob, said the Lord, right? And be dismayed, O Israel, for Lord. Now remember what he told Abraham, that he was going to save his seed from the land of their captivity. Remember what he told him, right? I don't know if y'all following along, but this shit is really happening. He said, because 2019, after that shit hit the fan, 2020 was the awakening. Everything shit, I'm telling y'all, the world ain't been right since 2019. I'm telling y'all probably all believe me, but the shit is real. I'm telling y'all. A natural disaster has come upon the land because this thing has come back, the destroyer, to destroy. I'm gonna show y'all. Watch this. He said, therefore, right? Wait. Let's go back. He said, therefore, fear thou not, O servant Jacob, said the Lord. And he said, and be dismayed. He said, and neither be dismayed, O Israel, for lo, I will save thee from afar, in thy seed from the land of their captivity. You see that? Remember what he told Abraham? He said, and Jacob shall return and shall be at rest and shall be quiet, and none shall make him afraid. For I am with thee, said the Lord, to save thee. Now remember the promise he made to Abraham? He said, though I make a full end of all the nations, whether I have scattered thee. Now, whoa, where did that come from? Remember that? Remember, now listen, this is him. That's what I'm telling y'all. Wisdom has been revealed. Remember how he told Abraham? What did he tell Abraham? What did he tell him? Y'all see how the sun is getting now. Now I know a lot of the Caucasians gonna be mad at this video, but it's the truth, y'all. And you guys have to cling on to the American so-called Negro, because we are those people. Y'all have to cling on to Israel in these times because trouble is coming. Natural disaster coming, wars coming, trouble is coming. I don't know if y'all know this, but when he told Abraham, and also the nation who they serve, I will judge. Remember that? Now I'm telling y'all, he's judging these nations. This is what's happening now. Remember how he said? He said, for I am with thee, said the Lord, to save thee, though I make a full end of all the nations, whether I have scattered thee, right? Remember he told Abraham he was going to have kids from one end of the earth even into the other, and he was going to gather them. He said, yet I will not make a full end of thee, but I will correct thee in measure, and will not leave thee altogether unpunished. Half the whole world gonna fucking die. I don't know if y'all know this, but half of all of us, most of all of us, is going to die, people. We'll come back in the next life. That's why he said he will correct thee in measure, because he not gonna make a full end of us, but he gonna make a full end of the nations, whether he have scattered us. And in order for him to do that, he have to make damn near a full end of us. So there will only be, this is why that 144,000 makes sense now. This is why it makes sense. And this is why, remember when Jeremiah, I don't know if y'all remember what I told y'all who Jeremiah was, but I think y'all should pay attention because Jeremiah is one of the most, Jeremiah and Isaiah is one of the most important prophets out of the Bible. Some of the most important. These are the times, they spoke in art, they was prophecies of our times. Prophecies of these times right now. Right now. Now remember this? Now I ain't gonna even go into this a whole different book, but we gonna go to back to Jeremiah, right? Now Jeremiah lets you know what's coming. He lets you know that this is gonna be like a natural disaster thing. He tells you. Now remember Jeremiah, who he was. He was the prophet against who? The Gentile nations. So they said disaster will soon spread from nation to nation. Now this is what Jeremiah is telling you, people. Disaster is coming, and it's natural disaster though. And he said they will come like a pearl. He said they will come like a powerful storm. This is how you know. Natural disaster, man. They will come like a powerful storm to all faraway places on the earth. Flash floods. Listen, why y'all think y'all see the flash floods happening everywhere? Everywhere. The floodgates of heaven have been opened. That's what he say. Literally, I'm telling y'all, these were some of the greatest prophets from the Bible. Go pull it. Right now is the time to pull it out. You can see it now because wisdom has been revealed. You can see it. Look what he say. The Lord is going to lay waste the earth. Look at y'all see that? Now pay attention. With devastation, natural disaster. Look at this. Listen how he explained this. Listen to how the Most High explains this. Because this is that time. That's how you know, man. This is that time, man, because the natural disaster is here. And people don't even see it. They gonna call it everything but the power of the Most High. I'm telling y'all. Because they don't know. They waiting on the carriage in the sky to come cracking shit. The fake God to come out on a horse in the carriage. That shit is not happening. This is what he says. All that other stuff that y'all talk about is not in this Bible. He literally tells you the Lord's devastation of the earth. He said, see, the Lord is going to lay waste the earth. Remember that? Remember I told y'all to remember that precept? Where that precept at? Remember that? That's why you got to have so many Bibles up in this motherfucker. Tanakhs and everything, because you got to make it make sense. Now, remember this? What'd he say? Right? Watch this. Watch this, y'all. This was so crazy. Now pay attention. Because this is them times, man. This is them times and we ain't even recognized it. And the whole world's salvation lies in us, man. You know what I'm saying? He said the lion has come up from his thicket and the destroyer of the Gentiles is on his way. He is going forth from his place to make thy land desolate and thy cities shall be laid waste without inhabitant. Now remember that word laid waste because the Bible is told to be read strictly. Precept upon precept, little here and a little there, y'all. We've been lied to. We've been lied to. So you got to put these precepts together. So he said, the Lord is going to lay waste the earth and devastate it. Remember that word, lay waste the earth and devastate it. Now what he say? He says, see, the Lord is going to lay waste the earth, right? What he say right here? The lion has come up from his thicket and the destroyer of the Gentiles is on his way. He is going forth from his place to make thy land desolate, and thy cities shall be laid waste without inhabitant. Now remember what he said. Now he didn't say that the devil was coming. He didn't say that God was coming. He said the destroyer of the Gentiles was going to lay waste the earth and make thy cities desolate. This is what he said. Now everything else these people was making up, oh, God coming back, this rapture and all. No, that ain't what he said. This is literally what he said. See, the Lord is going to lay waste the earth and devastate it. Remember he said he was going to make the earth desolate? Remember he said that? And he said he will ruin its face because it's going to be like a pole shift, natural disaster. He said he will ruin its face and scatter its inhabitants. Remember what he said? What did he say? He said he is gone from his place to make thy land desolate, and thy city shall be laid waste without inhabitant. What did he say? He said he will ruin his face and scatter its inhabitants. It will be the same for the priests as for the people. So who getting raptured? When the devastation of the Lord come, this is the day of the Lord. I don't know if y'all know this. I don't know if you guys know what's really taking place. There's no rapture coming. Nobody's safe. He literally goes on to tell you that you people, me and you, he said, you people of the earth, you ain't going nowhere. How you being raptured? Whosoever flees the sound of terror will fall into a pit. How you gonna go up in the sky? Whosoever climbs up out of that pit will get caught up in the snare. The floodgates of heaven are open. The foundation of the earth shake. This is natural disaster, y'all. Just like the scientists is saying, the earthquakes is increasing. That's the birth pains. You know how the Bible talks about the birth pains? We done literally went up to 6.5s and 7 somethings that's literally not like becoming the normal. 86 something fucking 6.5s the other day. 86. Now he said the floodgates. Remember these flash floods? Y'all see what's going on in Vegas? Y'all see what's going on in Korea, China, all these different motherfucking places, Italy, Spain. Y'all see this shit? He said the seas was gonna boil. Y'all see how they talk about the oceans heating up and shit? He said that the oceans will be in perplexity from the tossing of the seas. At the tossing of the seas. He literally tells you that the floodgates of heaven have been opened and the foundations of the earth shake. Y'all don't know? Earthquakes in diverse places. The earth is literally shaking. I'm talking about literally, they have never seen nothing like it, people. So he goes on to literally say, he said the earth is broken up. The earth is split asunder. Who's getting raptured? The new earth is coming. The earth, the whole face of the earth, every mountain will literally be moved. The sky is going to literally rain fire and brimstone, people. This shit is real. I don't know if y'all see the weather or what's currently going on, and they can't explain it. They calling it global warming or climate. No, it's this incoming system, the return of the destroyer that has a 36-year path. Now listen, I'm gonna show y'all. I'm gonna show you exactly the shit that Jeremiah talking about. The destroyer will come against every town. It is the exact thing that he's talking about. Now listen to what he say. He says, the floodgates of heaven are open and the foundation of the earth shake. The earth is broken up. The earth is split asunder. The earth is violently shaken. The earth, it reels like a drunkard. He said the earth gonna be shaking like a drunk man. Like a drunkard. Like wobbling, shaking. Like it's doing now. He said it sways like a hut in the wind. So heavy up on his guilt of its rebellion that it falls, never to rise again. So it's going to fall, it's going to tilt. That's why they talk about in all the scientific books, man. This is why they talk about what they talk about. You know what they talk about in all the scientific books? You know what they talking about right now? This is what they talking about. This is what they talking about, man. They talking about the sun, because the sun is going to be the cause. The sun is really the cause of all of it. The CMEs, you see, we had two M-class, M2 CMEs today come up off the sun. The M-class, the X-class, and the Y-class flares gonna devastate the earth. It's gonna cause all type of seismic activity, volcanic activity, all this different shit. The alignment with the stars, all of this, okay? It's literally gonna cause the pulling that we have, the tugging, the movement that we have out here with our planets and all this lining up with the moon and all this shit is literally is what is causing this. It's happening right before our eyes. And they not even telling y'all. It's something out there so great, something so big that is pulling and tugging at everything that is out here. They're not even telling you. They're not even telling you. Y'all think that the stars and shit is just lining up on their own? No, there's a force out there making that shit happen. And where do the force come from? You have to go way back. That's why I told you got to go deep into Mesopotamia and Samaria, all this Sumer. That's where these motherfuckers come from, I'm telling you. That's why you got to go deep, because you got to wonder, where did Abraham and his people come from? Who are they people? Because all they talk about is Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And the descent. But who is Abraham's descendants? All Noah and Lot and all these people. Enoch, who is all they folks? I'm telling y'all, man. Listen, if y'all know, listen. They was the ones who had the keys. They had the keys to the sky. They was the ones, man. They made time. They gave us the time we have now. Now, this is what you see happening right here. When ages pass certain time, right? When ages pass certain laws, when ages pass, meaning when time pass, certain laws operate upon the stars in the heavens, right? He said, their ways change, right? He said, there is, right? He said, there is movement and restlessness. They are no longer constant, so we know for a fact what these people is telling us, that after a certain amount of time, that when time passed, years, decades, centuries, I don't give a fuck what type of time they talking about. They saying that when time passed, certain laws operate upon the stars in the heaven. So right now there's law or there's some type of war being taking place in the heaven because we have been having these alignments since that first big alignment, and these motherfuckers ain't stopped. The stars is literally moving and they ain't stopped. You see how they say they are no longer constant. Remember how they used to be in one spot, stars, Mars, all this shit. Go outside, they was in the same spot. No, these motherfuckers moving like a motherfucker. I'm talking about Venus, Pluto. They moving. I'm telling you, there's something about there pulling. There's something tugging. He said they are no longer constant, and a great light appears rarely in the skies. Now, the great light that appears rarely in the skies is the red iron oxide. This is what appeared in our skies. This is what is here, people. This red iron oxide shit, this shit is real. And it is here. Now, I'm going to have to put this, to show y'all this stuff, I'm going to have to put something else on this phone. Let me see. But, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show y'all, man, what's taking place. But this is our sign right here. The Most High gave us signs. That's why he said you go to the Holy Bible, right? Because everybody gonna have their own signs, man. You see how they tell us before the devastation of the earth come, right? Because the end of this place and the end of these people that he's talking about, the end of these nations is all through this book. I'm telling y'all, this shit is all through these books. Look, he said Jerusalem will be trampled on by Gentiles. That's one of our signs. Y'all see how all these black folks over here in America saying, man, we the real Jews. We the real Jews. And they are. Because the people that's over there are Ashkenazis. And they from the Khazarian Empire. They Khazars. Okay? They Gentiles. That's what's fucked up. They are Gentiles. So you can never say that the Bible is a lie. No, I don't give a fuck if it's scripted. This is the truth. It is literally real. He said that Jerusalem will be trampled on by Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles are fulfilled. Now, how will we know when the times of the Gentiles are fulfilled? Now, remember this. Remember this. The lion has come up from his thicket, and the destroyer of the Gentiles is on his way. That's how we know, y'all. That's how we know. And how will we know when that is on his way? Because there will be signs. There will be signs in the sun, the moon, and in the stars. And on the earth, nations will be in anguish and perplexity at the ruin and tossing of the sea. Right? Listen, this shit is literally happening. Y'all see Africa over there talking about this brick shit in China, Gog and Mega? This shit is literally happening right before your eyes. The sun turning blood red. The moon. I'm talking about this nights. We don't even have blood moons. Go outside. Moon blood is red is blood. Red is blood. Now they ain't saying shit about no blood moon. Is y'all not seeing this shit? Right? And then the second sun appeared in the fucking sky. The second sun. Now these motherfuckers, right? This is how you know that this Paul Begley and or Mike from around the world, they on the right track, but they don't know what they talking about. Because they Gentiles, right? So they don't really know what they talking about, right? So when he say, and then a great wonder appeared in the heavens, there was a woman who was clothed with the sun. They took that as being Virgo, right? They took that as being like some type of, right? But that's not that. That's the second sun, the dark star. That's the dark star. That's clothed with our sun. That's the woman. Our sun's sister, which comes around, escort, this thing comes in, that's Planet X back there, Nubaru, whatever you want to call it, the destroyer, right? Because remember, the destroyer is from the Holy Bible. This is what Jeremiah keep talking about. The destroyer of the Gentiles coming, and the destroyer to making the land desolate and all that shit because of what is taking place on the land with who? With these same people. These same people from right here. Who are they? Right? The Hebrews, right? Right? It features detailed accounts of the 10 plagues of the Exodus that devastated the mighty empire of Egypt. But this is what came. The destroyer. This is literally what came. This is what did all of that shit, right? And only people lived. Damn near the only motherfuckers who was spared was these so-called slaves. That was under the ruling of the Pharaoh. Just like how the Most High said that he told Abraham that he was going to free his people. He was going to grab them. Listen, I know it sounds crazy, y'all, but this shit is real. You see, listen, he literally told us. Then came the day when all things became still and apprehensive. For God caused a sign to appear in the heavens so that man should know that the earth will be afflicted. The sign was a strange star. Now remember that. Remember that? The sun was a strange star. You know what the sun is? Y'all know what the sun is? The sun is a star. The sun is our star. So that means, right? That means that if we are them people, if we that call ourselves The Israelites over here in America, folks, you hear me? Y'all hear me? Y'all listen to me? Right? If we are those people, then there will have to be two suns in the sky, right? Literally. This is what I'm telling you, right? Hold on. Let me see. Let me try to get up in this thing real quick. Try to get up in this email. I need to do something. I need to show y'all. I need to try to do something real quick in this email so y'all can see. I need y'all to be with me because if we them people, like I'm trying to tell y'all, 468298. I guess that's it. 468298. Son of a bitch. Ain't that a bitch? Hold on, man. It's fucking up. But like I'm trying to tell y'all, man. If we them people, right? Right? Then yeah, there you go. There you go. If we them people would have to be two suns in the sky, right? If this that time, right? Will be taking place. Like what's happening right now. You know what I'm saying? We should be seeing fucking we should be seeing this exact thing right here. What we currently is really really witnessing, right? The destruction that come upon the planet, the land, from natural disaster, right? Not only should we be witnessing that though, we should be witnessing all these floods and volcanoes and forest fires, because they literally tell us that the trees and all that shit become engulfed by flames, and it will be hard for man to breathe and shit. That's because methane gas and all type of magma is seeping this shit. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be fire all in the water and shit, all in the ocean, because these volcanoes all in the oceans. Now y'all see how they say that then came the day when all things became still and apprehensive, for God caused a sign to appear in the heavens so that man should know that the earth will be afflicted. Okay, this sign is here, right? So we got thousands of videos. I'm talking about thousands, you know what I'm saying? Thousands upon thousands of videos. So no matter what a person says, you know what I'm saying? You see how you got trees all in front of this shit, you know what I'm saying? This the real sun right there. So you got thousands and thousands, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about thousands though. Thousands upon videos where the same people were saying, they seeing this. They seeing the exact same thing. A strange star, right? The exact same thing. See the Caucasians, they threw off because they don't know. You know what I'm saying? So he say, and then a great wonder appeared in the heavens. There was a woman who was clothed with the sun. The moon was positioned under her feet. She, right? That's why they said our dark sister, because our sun has a smaller twin. They said our dark sister had a crown of 12 stars orbiting her celestial body, escorts orbiting her. This is these other other moons and shit, satellites that have come in with this thing. Accompany it in. They got satellites coming in before it come in and shit. All different types of satellite, different moons and all this type of shit. That's why you might see two moons. Like the regular moon, it will be looking like the rocky kind of grayish moon. It don't look all bright like a flashlight, bright as a bitch like a LED light. That's not our moon. I don't know what the fuck that is, but that's not the moon, y'all. The moon is like a rocky rock, kind of got like a shine, like not a shine, but like a, a light to it, like some shining a flashlight on a rock or some shit. That's how it look. But we getting this bright flashlight looking shit, LED light with the moon and the sun. So I'm trying to tell y'all, these objects is not what you think they are. Okay, so she, our dark sister, had escorts orbiting her celestial body, right? So then what else came? And see, we know this off of depicting the, Sumerian tablet, right? So they tell you, then another wonder appeared in the heavens. There was a giant red dragon, right? The dragon's tail swept a third of the stars out of the sky. Now, where do they get that dragon from? Remember, where do they get this dragon, right? This dragon, right? Whose tail, now this is the dragon from Revelations. Now, where did Revelations get this dragon from, right? Now, let's go deep, right? Let's watch this. Let me show y'all something, right? Where did Revelations get this dragon from? Okay, we're here, right? Hold on, let me see. I might be missing a couple pages. Got some pages somewhere. Might be missing some. Oh, okay, right there. Right. So where did my bad. Where did they get this dragon?
Now remember how the Most High said that there was a sign he will give that the earth will be afflicted. The sign, right? Remember that? Remember that? He said, then came a day when all things became still and apprehensive. For God caused, right? They don't even know that the Most High is here in spirit, y'all. This shit is crazy. He said, for God caused a sign to appear in the heavens so that man should know that the earth will be afflicted. The sign was a strange start. It's just like it's all the prophecies, like the Hopi prophecy, the Mayan prophecy, all of it, right? Then they go on to say, right? This is what they go on to say. They go on to say, at the time of the great destruction of the earth, remember how God said that he was going to devastate the earth? He did this. They done did this shit. This thing that happened over and over again, y'all. This ain't the first time. That's what I'm saying. Like, this ain't the first time, man. He said this was. Remember, he said this was a. He did this happened once before during the Exodus. Remember the destruction and the recreation, right? He said it is known, and he said the story comes down from the ancient times that there was not one creation but two creations. And he said, but a creation and a recreation. I'm sorry about that. They say the fact is, they said, it is a fact known to the wise that the earth was utterly destroyed and once reborn up on the second wheel of creation. And that's where you get that deluge and all that shit from, okay? That's where all that come from. Now, when you pay attention, remember that dragon for Revelations? Remember the book of Revelations? Remember? They said, and then another wonder came, a dragon. Remember that? They said a red dragon, right? The dragon tail swept a third of the stars and threw them out of the sky. Remember that? That's Revelations now, because they all saying the same thing. Now watch this. At the time of the great destruction of the earth, God caused the dragon from out of heaven to come and encompass her about. Now, what did Revelation say? What did they say? I'm trying to tell y'all this shit is taking place in our time right now. Right now, this thing. This is what's causing the alignments with the planets and shit, causing the friction on the earth. This thing is out here. It's flinging itself through the heavens. That's why they say, at the time of the great destruction, God caused the dragon from out of the heavens to come and encompass her about. The dragon was frightful to behold, and it lashed its tail. Now, this is why we are seeing all these sightings of these meteors and shit. The meteors is coming off the tail. Look, I bullshit you not. I bullshit you not, y'all. Y'all better get to looking at the sky. It's meteors coming down, people. I'm telling y'all, in just a minute, the motherfucker's gonna be slapping Earth. Fire and brimstone. That's what that is. Remember, John the Revelator said he saw the stars of heaven fall down from the sky. That's what he was talking about. He didn't even know. Because back then, yeah, remember they ain't had. He was given. That was a revelation. That was like a prophecy. You get what I'm saying? Something to come. So they didn't have the technology that we have now to know what the fuck he was seeing. He thought he was seeing the stars fall out of heaven. Nope. He was seeing meteors and shit fall. Fire and brimstone. That's what he was seeing. Now, you remember the dragon that God caused from out of heaven to come and encompass her about. This is it. Right? The reason that they call it a dragon, because it have a tail on it. Right? It has this debris tail that's following it because it's so big. So the mass of it flinging itself through the universe, whatever the fuck. It's carrying debris, plenty of debris. Now, all this that you see right here, all this right here, right? All this is debris. All this fire and brimstone, right? All that, and it's following this. And you see all these bright light. Those the other planets. I mean, like moons and shit accompanying it. Like it got moons and satellite with it, y'all. I'm telling you, them brought his whole family with it. I'm telling y'all, them brought all this shit up in here. Now this is just now making it here. Now this is why they saying that it's a bright what they say it's a meteor. We got some type of meteor or some shit coming September 23rd this year. They don't know where the fuck it came from. It just came out of nowhere, big as hell. It's because you gonna be able to see it soon. Where y'all think all this shit coming from? Y'all see what happened in Florida yesterday when that big ass meteor shot through the sky and it left a long trail of fire through this? Y'all ain't see that? Where y'all think that shit coming from? Where y'all think it's coming from? It's coming off this belt because this is out there. It's here. So it got more, you see all these wandering meteors and shit. It got wandering meteors coming off the tail, coming off, just coming down the earth and shit. That's why we seeing the wandering ones before we get into the belt. Before look, because it's gonna fling itself up at the 1 o'clock position. So see what this says? It's gonna fling itself up at the 1 o'clock position like that, right? I guess it's already up there, but it's gonna come up. I guess somehow this motherfucker, or unless it's coming down and it's gonna come up at the 1 o'clock position. Okay. That's what's happening right now. And its orbit is big and it's like unstable. It ain't like ours. Like you see how we go around like this? It don't do that. This motherfucker fling it got like an unstable orbit to where it's, man, I'm telling y'all got to see this shit because that's why they calling it a dragon. How it fling itself all throughout, and then it can hit something and get slowed down on the way here. So that's why it's been off on time. They don't know when it's coming because it's been hitting shit. I'm telling y'all, it's been destroyed. It's a planet killer. Literally, it's a planet killer, man. Literally, and that motherfucker has returned. That's why they call it the Destroyer, because it's a planet destroyer. That's exactly what it is. Okay, so we get back to it. He said, at the time of the great destruction, God caused a dragon from out of heaven to come and encompass her about. The dragon was frightful to behold, and it lashed its tail. Remember the tail? Remember? It lashed its tail, and it breathed out, right? And breathed out. Where was it? The dragon lashed its tail, and it breathed out fire and hot coals. I'm telling y'all, fire and brimstone. And great catastrophe was inflicted upon mankind. I'm telling y'all. And then listen, remember the Bible? You got to stay in the Bible, man, because the Bible give you, it tells you, like, we've been misled, but it gives you great information to what we now facing. It tells us what has come upon us. It literally tells us, right? So watch this. This what give it even more crazier. Know how they be like, God coming back. It's not a beautiful thing, y'all. This is not a beautiful thing, I'm telling y'all. He said, and he answered me and said, measure thou time diligently in itself, and wilt thou see as part of the signs past, which I have told thee before. Remember those signs? Remember those signs? There will be signs. There will be signs in the sun, the moon, and in the stars. Remember that? Remember that? I don't know if y'all, I don't think y'all remember. That's why you got to stay up on it, man. Stay up on it. Everybody got to stay up on it. There will be signs in the sun, the moon, and in the stars. And on earth, nations will be in perplexity, right? What'd he say? He said, and he answered me and said, measure thy time diligently in itself. And when thou seest part of the signs which I have told thee before. Now listen, he talking about the end, y'all. He said, then thou should understand that is the very same time wherein the highest, the big man, the supreme, right? The highest will begin to visit the world, right, which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes, right? I'm telling y'all, because the destruction has come upon the earth. That's why we get the increase in the earthquakes and shit. He said, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people. You see this with China and the Africans and shit, all that shit happening over there. That's uproar. That's these people in the whole uproar, man. Down here on the earth, and nations turning against nations, rising up against each other and shit. They gonna start to invade each other in just a minute. That's why that motherfucker. Y'all think that river clearing up for no reason? That motherfucker clearing up for real to make way for these Iraqis and shit, man. This shit is really finna hit the fin. When they talk about what's that motherfucker clearing up down there? That river that they be talking about, like, oh man, it's one of the biggest prophecies. Hey, that shit is real. That shit is real, man. They making way for them, for that shit is finna take place. Tyre and Sudan, man, listen, all them names they screamed out, them all ancient names, man. All Persia, all that, that's Iran. These are all ancient names, man. This shit is coming to light. I don't know if y'all know this, but yeah, they trying to throw us off changing names and shit, but watch this. He said, then thou shalt understand that is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then thou shalt well understand that is the very same time. He said, then thou shalt well understand that is the Most High who spoke of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world have a beginning and an end manifest. Even so, the times, he said, even so, the times also of the highest have plain beginnings, wonders, and powerful works, and endings, and effects, and signs. Now, listen, I'm telling y'all, we've seen the signs. All the shit that happened. Listen, when we see this shit, when we see this right here, they trying to throw us off, y'all. I'm telling y'all, when we go outside, right, and we see this type of shit, when we see the sun red as fire, I'm talking about like red as blood, I mean. When we see that type of shit, right? We see shit like, I'm telling y'all, watch this. Let me show y'all where this shit at. We walk outside, right? Because I done seen this stuff myself, man. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these videos I done recorded myself. But yeah, the natural disaster has fell upon the land too. But when we walk outside and we see the sky like this, You know what I'm saying? You don't need no motherfucking glass. You don't need no phone to even. Some people see the shit and just see it. Like, buddy, outside. This outside. Well, walking past when you see two lens flares. That's because there's two objects in this sky. The sign right there that destruction is coming, right? I tell you, the sign that these are the greatest signs, right? The sun and the signs and the sun, the moon and the stars, right? So we got the sign, the second sun in the sky. Some people gonna see his sun ain't, but it's here. Okay? So he told us that he was giving us these signs, man. We got these signs. You know, no matter what a person want to believe, you know, you got all these different signs, right? Even right here, look how red it is behind the sun right there. What's going on? What's taking place right there, though? Right? All this weird shit going on. What's taking place with our sky, right? Because there are signs in the sun, the moon, and in the stars. We seeing it. We seeing the shit. Can't say that we ain't seeing it. We ain't seeing it. But these things is happening, man. It's taking place. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Natural disaster is finna really come upon the land and destroy men, all men. Natural disaster is coming, people. When I say natural disasters come, listen, there's going to be bugs. I keep warning y'all about these bugs, man. These bugs coming. You know why the bugs is coming? This is how I know that the bugs is coming, y'all. Because you see how they keep saying climate change, climate change, climate change? Y'all hear that? That's a very important word. That's just some shit. They made it up, but when you think about it, it's real important, people. You got to think of what they saying. Why they keep saying climate change? Because the fish of the river died in the polluted waters. And worms and insects and reptiles sprang up from the earth, right? In huge numbers. Great gusts of wind brought forth locusts, which covered the sky as the destroyer flung itself through the heavens. So all this shit is coming, right? Not only is all that coming, right? It's already here. I'm telling y'all, we already seeing the signs. Them plagues, them little bugs and shit. All them plagues and crickets and shit that was plaguing Vegas and shit recently. All them crickets, people walk outside, crickets all over their house. Them plagues. All them little fruit flies and shit in New York. There was so many of them. All them motherfuckers hair all on their clothes and shit. Them plagues. Destruction has come upon the land, and this thing is making this shit that they are calling climate change. You hear me? That's what it's making. This thing is making that, right? And that's why the days of the years are shortened. Time literally has flew. I don't know if y'all notice how every time president go in there, that motherfucker walking right back out. I don't know if y'all noticed this. I don't know if y'all notice how when you have a baby now, that motherfucker 1 year old like he's 6 months. Like, I don't know if y'all noticed this, but time is flying dramatically. Time is flying. All right? Now they tell you the days of the years were shortened, and the times of all things altered. The seasons were turned around. Literally, the seasons are turned around. They say, so the seed, right? So that the seed rotted within the soil, and no green shoots came forth to greet the day. Listen, destruction, famine, just like he said. What'd he say? Right? I don't know if y'all pay attention to this, but the disaster is coming upon the land. Now he told these people, he telling all these prophets to go talk to his people. Now listen, he said, behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of the prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, said the Lord, and cause them to be written on paper. Now listen, the reason that they was put in that mouth and caused them to be written on paper, because we was going to need them in this time, and they was faithful and true, right? He said, fear not, fear not the imagination against thee. He said, let not the incredulity of them that speak against thee trouble thee, right? He said, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. For all the unfaithful should die in their unfaithfulness. He said, behold, said the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. This is what's currently taking place. This is what you see. The sword. When I say death and destruction has come upon the land, that's what you see. Pay attention to the natural. I know y'all seen Vegas, right? Now look at all the. Just watch this. I want to show y'all something, right? Let me show y'all something around the whole world, right? Something that's taking place that nobody seems that like nobody is literally seen to be talking about this shit. Like nobody, right? Let's see. I don't know if YouTube gonna block me or what, but let's see this. right? They might just do. Y'all see this? Right? Y'all see what took place in Vegas and all this shit? Y'all see the flash floods and all that, right? This shit been going on, y'all. All around the world. I say all around the world, right? When I say that, right? Watch this. Look at this, man. Right? And I ain't just talking about Vegas, but watch this. Look at that. Lance, this 5 hours ago. Like, this shit is literally happening everywhere. Everywhere, all around the world. And that people so worried about other shit that they fail to realize that all man-made structure will soon be in a state of collapse. All rivers and oceans and shit will soon be rising. This is what they fail to realize to tell y'all. That natural disaster. You see how them streets and shit breaking up? Y'all see that? That's happening everywhere. Everywhere. The streets. And see, I got this shit from a scientific fact, man. This is how I know what's taking place, man. Because they tell us, as this thing, you see what they call it? What they call it? What they call that thing? They said, natural cataclysms such as super volcanoes, right? Super volcano eruptions, magnitude 9 earthquakes, all this shit coming. Along the major fault lines and tsunamis would occur at a breathtaking pace. Now, this will occur after this. You see, after this, now they said this coming first, right? They said the average magnitude 9 earthquakes will continue to increase. That's what's going to cause these the volcanoes is what's causing the earthquakes and shit, right? Well, the sun is really causing all of it. You know what I'm saying? From the solar flares and all this shit. That's what's causing this increase, this big increase. All these solar flares and all this uptick in solar activity, all right? So they say the average magnitude of earthquakes will continue to increase, and hurricanes and tornadoes will be far more powerful. They said weather patterns will be more extreme all around the world. They said the more prolonged drought and periods of severe rainfall will no longer be the exception. That's why we get the flash floods. That's why this shit is happening. It's no longer the exception, but guess what? It's the rule. It ain't gonna stop. Consequently, global weather patterns will reverse themselves, and this is what we are watching, right? And then y'all see them streets and shit, right? That's happening everywhere. They not telling y'all, right? They not telling y'all. They just trying to fix the shit back with the quickness, not telling y'all that it ain't gonna hold up, right? That's happening everywhere. But what they say, all above ground infrastructure, such as highways, overpasses, and bridges, will be in a state of collapse, and most buildings and homes will be destroyed or unsafe. They said the military shortwave radios will be the only way to communicate across the globe until other communication systems are restored, because the sun gonna knock out the fucking electricity. We only seeing the beginning. All this is the beginning. It's the beginning, y'all. This ain't even close to what the fuck we finna see. Houses and shit gonna be getting washed out to sea. Y'all see that? The devastation that's on the land? Devastation. What he say? What he say? I don't think y'all hear what he said though. What he say? Right? Listen to what he say. Right? Listen to what he say. He say, let's check him out. Right? He say, see, the Lord is going to lay waste the earth and devastate it. He will ruin its face and scatter its inhabitants. It will be the same for the priests as for the people. This shit gonna be everywhere. Right? Everybody gonna witness. He said it will be the same for the priests as for the people. The Lord is going to totally lay waste the earth. This is what he say. He say, see, the Lord is going to lay waste the earth and devastate it. He will ruin its face and scatter its inhabitants. Who the fuck said he was gonna rapture somebody? I don't get where y'all getting this European fucking fairy tale fable. I'm telling y'all, these people can't listen. The reason why I tell y'all to watch how y'all listen to these pastors and shit, because the pastors have misled the people. And where do I get that from, right? Why would I say, oh, why would you turn around and say that the pastors have misled the people? Because he said that among all these multitudes of people, thou hast gotten thee one people. He only got one people. And unto this people who thou lovest, thou gavest the law, a law that is approved of all. This law is this word. This is the law, right? So how could these people, he only got one people. So a lot of these people is around here spreading false information, misleading motherfuckers, all type of shit. And you know what? While y'all sitting out here listening to them, all the fake pastors, they don't tell you this, right? A pastor would never show you this. This is why I say Jeremiah is one of the coldest prophets in the Bible. What do he say? Woe be unto the pastors. Who? What are you talking about? Woe be unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep. Why would he say that? Of my pastors, said the Lord. Therefore, thus says the Lord, God of Israel. He only got one people. Remember, and among all the multitudes, I don't think y'all remember. Do y'all remember? I got to go back. And among all the multitudes of people, thou hast gotten to be one people. So when he said, Lord God of Israel, he meant what he said. Because these people is the salvations, is the world's salvation. They don't even know it. They don't even know it. That's why he said they gonna admit it in the end. Surely have our fathers inherited lies. You hear me? But anyway, he said, the Lord God of Israel, he said, therefore, thus says the Lord God of Israel against the pastors that feed my people. Now, why would he say that? Where did that come from? Huh? Why would he say that? So y'all know we all been misled, right? We all been misled. I'm telling you. The Most High against these people, man. And it's all right there. Natural disaster coming up on the earth. That's why he said, you know what I'm saying? The Lord is going to lay waste the earth and devastate it. He will ruin his face and scatter its inhabitants. It will be the same for the priests as for the people. The priest sitting back, oh, I'm going to get raptured. I'm going to be... No, you're not. No, you're not. It will be the same as for the priests as for the people. For the mistress as for her servant. For the mistress, for the master as for the servant. For the mistress as for her servant. For the seller as for the buyer. For the brower as for the... You see how he goes so deep to let you know that this shit is real? Ain't no rapture. He letting you know. This for everybody. This for the master, for the servant, for the mistress, for her servant, for the seller, for the buyer, for the brower, for the lender, for the debtor, for the creditor. The earth will be completely laid waste and totally plundered. The Lord has spoken. So when you speak and say that you're gonna get raptured, where do you get that shit from? Oh, Ecclesiastics, it said we was gonna get caught up in it. No. That's a spiritual thing. See, y'all tripping. Y'all don't even know. You reading it. Listen. You don't even find the word rapture not one time in the Bible. Not one time. The way these people using this shit, they talking about one verse. One verse now. But the Lord devastation on the earth is all throughout the Bible. They don't want you to know the destruction of the land that is coming. The land will be totally plundered. Due from this thing coming. I'm telling you. Just like in the Exodus. It's the same thing. What'd he say? He said, glory to the righteous one, right? Because he loved the righteous one. Glory to the righteous one. But he said, but I said, I waste away. Woe is me. Woe is who? All this, I'm going to be raptured. No, you're not. No, you're not. The treacherous one. You hear me? He said, you people of the earth. He talking to all of us. That's me, you, the pastor, all of y'all. So who's getting raptured? He said, you people of the earth, whosoever flee the sound of terror will fall into a pit. Whosoever climbs out of that pit will get caught up in a snare. Right? He ain't say you people, after I raptured the other people. None of that shit. But he did make it clear that it will be the same for the priest as for the people. For the master as for the servant. For the mistress as for her servant. For the seller as for the buyer. For the brower as for the lender. He did make that shit clear. He made it clear. Then he come back to say, you people of the earth, whosoever flee, you're going to fall your ass in the pit. Whosoever climb out of that pit should get caught up in a snare. The floodgates of heaven are open and the foundation of the earth shake. Where is you going? Where is y'all going? Where is y'all getting this information from? First of all, take me there. Put it in the comments. And I ain't talking about just that little Ecclesiastic where you, I'm going to get caught up in the sky. No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're going to watch this devastation of the earth just like Noah and his family. The Most High doesn't change. I don't know if y'all recognize this, but he is the same. He is the great... Listen, let me show you something. right? Because I know y'all don't understand. So you got to go deep. You got to go way to some shit that's probably even before the Bible, like thousands of years. You know what I'm saying? Let's go a little bit deep, right? Right? Let's see. Let's go a little bit deep, right? Let's see where we going, right? He said, right? I am God who ordained the law, and nothing man could do would change it. Right? What do you say? The Lord never changed. The Lord never changed. He is the great I am, right? The Lord will be the same tomorrow as it was yesterday. And the same after that. It never changes. He said, I am the changeless one, right? Could a God of love become a God of vengeance? Revenge is something. Listen. I am the changeless one, right? That's what I'm trying to. I ain't even finna go into all this with y'all because y'all don't even know none of this. This is something totally different. But I just want y'all to know that the Most High doesn't change. You see, he tells you, I am the God who ordained the law, and nothing man could do will change it. My love mitigates the consequences of man unredeemed wickedness. I am the changeless one, the great I am. Right? What? Because who is the I am? Who is the great I am? I am as I am. Who is this I am? Who is he? Right? Come on now, man. You got to go deep, man. You got to go deep, man. If there's things take place upon the surface of the land, I don't know if anybody really knows what's taking place or what's going on, but destruction has come upon the land. You know, that's all I can say. Like, oh yeah, let's get back to this right here, right? So you see how he say when he said right here, when he said the Lord was on the earth right now, right? And he answered me and said, measure thy time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, then thou shalt well understand that is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. So we know that there's the spirit of the Most High is moving through the land. He said, right? What did he say? He said, God manifested himself in the heavens. His voice was a roll of thunders, y'all. This is natural disaster. This is what I'm telling y'all. Natural disaster will do away with folks on the land. And no, listen, that's why they talk about the heaven being down here on the earth, the new heaven on earth. Why y'all think they talking about that? Because it's new earth. New earth. Every mountain will be moved. This is something that would literally happen. This ain't nobody going to no sky. Who you think going to the sky? Don't nobody go to the sky. You literally return back. You listen. I'm gonna come back to that, but you literally return back here, right? You literally return back here. The end here is a beginning in another place. Death here is birth elsewhere. Life is a will no more than the mark between birth and death. Okay, we don't even die. We come right back. Not right back. That's what I'm telling you. The Egyptians knew this. The Egyptians knew this, people. That's why they bummed. That's why all the pharaohs and shit embalmed themselves, and they perfected mummifying, because they knew that if they mummified themselves, their bodies wouldn't decay right away. I don't know how long it might take, 1,000 years for you to come back to this motherfucker, 600 years, who knows? But they knew that we came back, and they thought that if they would bury themselves with all their possessions, that they would remember one day who they was. Just in case they was a prostitute, a bum, or anything like. You got to remember, the Egyptians knew this. They knew this. Okay? We don't know this, right? So they talk about how we leave behind us those in sorrow and all this and that shit. But the soul never dies, right? They talk about this. This is literally all you're going to see. Man is born to live, but he is also born to die. It would only make sense. It would only make sense. If man were born, we are born to live. So it makes sense that everybody is going to fucking die. And it's a natural thing, because if there's not a person in this world that's not going to die. That's how you know we done this multiple times before. Because how the fuck did we get here this time? That's what I'm telling you. Once you come into existing, you can never be non-existing. Okay? Now they tell you, man is born to live, but he is also born to die. It is no more natural for him to live than it is for him to die. Death is no harder than birth than it is. It is no more difficult than life. Y'all see that? Y'all see that, right? Come on now. Come on now. What they say? Good deeds must outweigh the wicked ones on a great scale. Otherwise, the spirit is doomed to darkness. Right? Right? But watch this. What is God? Everybody try to figure out what is God. Is God in the sky? They keep trying to tell you God is not in the sky. That's what they trying to tell y'all. But the Most High is in everything, everywhere, all in the earth, everywhere you look, all in you, everywhere. It's everywhere. He's in everything. Right? They tell you. Nature is the spirit of God manifesting in matter. It is the spiritual form seeking outlet expression in matter. It is the maker, the means, and the making of the things made. So what is God? That's all I'm trying to say, y'all people. You know what I'm saying? I ain't mean to get this quick up into this shit. I mean to get this deep up in here. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like we gotta be awoken, right? We gotta wake up to the shit sooner or later, right? We gotta know who we are. Because a lot of us think that we are literally our bodies. That's what people think. People tend to think that we are our bodies. Like we are our bodies. We are not our bodies. We're not. I'm sorry to tell y'all. But you're not your body. You the motherfucker navigating your body. That's you. You the navigator. Right? Let me show you. Right? Show you who he is, man. You the navigator of your body. That's who you are. You are not, right? Watch this. What he say? This earthly life which I have given you should be not viewed in many aspects, but in a light of infinitude. For all the suffering and disillusionment, right? Anyway, fuck it. That ain't even the one that I was trying to get to. I was trying to get to the soul. Hold on. My bad, y'all. But we can come back to that. The spirit of man has the... Nope. Where is it? I am the supreme, yet the heat of fire, fragrance. I am the power given from... When I... Right here. Right? When I depart my body, right? When I depart my body without me, it's useless as a worn out garment, which is discarded and cast aside. Do we go together, my beloved, hand in hand? No, I am not my body. Who am I? Right? Who am I? For I am the fire of life. The things breathe. Nope. The things, right? The things that are mine are ever with me. They are my bone. Okay. Yep. No. Mortal body, waking and sleeping, consciousness, awareness of self. 5 powers, filling the 5 activity, controlling the spirit, which is a sensitive being. Here I go, right here. I am the living consciousness within you. I am the knower. The things seen by the eyes and the things smelt by the nose are received by me. Who am I? The things heard and the things felt are registered by me. I am the inner being, causing decisions to be made. Though the tongue report back outside the things that I, the soul, and the spirit holds recorded. Everything done and the undertaking is such as the working of the hands and the movement of the legs are all doing accordance to my command. Who am I? I am my soul. I am not my body. When I leave here, my body without me is like a used up garment. But guess what? That's how I get back here. I come back here in another body, another suit. This is like a school. We never, listen, you are your soul. You are not your body. Once you come into existing, that's why he told you, this life that I give you should not be viewed in many aspects, but it should be viewed in infinitude. Because once you come into existing, you can never be non-existing because you have a spirit. You came into existing. That's why he told them, don't ask questions about the work of the Most High. Like when babies is born or when babies die and shit, because they are here, things happen to make changes in other people's lives and to give other people, everything is a sign and an effect and a wonder. Everything. That's why you don't question. Because long as that person came into existing, long as that egg came about, that spark was made, That soul was made, that spark. It became into infinitude. So even if that baby died at birth, it was born again through somebody else. It came back again. Remember that saying, we don't die, we multiply? Yeah, that shit is real. Now, there's some people here that doesn't have souls because they came from us. They only have spirits because they're spiritual beings. Now, our people took and perfected genes a long time ago, and they've been splicing and making genes, and they made mutated people. Multiple mutations. And this is why you get the lighter gene, the lighter of the eyes and the lighter of the skin, because they are mutations of the real deal. And those people will not come back here. They will not return because they don't have souls. You can't have a soul if you didn't come from the source. You didn't come from the source. You came from something that came from the source. I came from the source. So it's like a motherfucker slicing my genes and creating a human. That motherfucker wouldn't have no soul. So there's multiple beings upon us with no soul. That's where you get mankind from. It is the kind of a man, not the God man, because we are the sons of God. That's who we are. The sons of the Most High, the sons of the Supreme Being. Those who we are. We sprung up from the earth like everything else. Every animal, every dog, every fish you see, worm, all that shit. Even some of that shit is been fucked with genetically and been mutated. Even some of the plants and the fruits and the shit you see has been mutated. And there goes to show you that if we don't have real fruits or real animals and shit like that, and all that shit could be mutated, what the fuck do you think that can happen to you? Because you came from the same source as all this other stuff came from. You came from that same source. Everybody. So when you sit here and you wonder, man, how God is real, how this and that, how this happened, all this and that, no wonder. You came from the same fucking source everybody else came from. Same source. I don't know what happened. But, let's see.